All right, welcome to Module 3 of Operations Digital Transformation. We're about to dive into something that's a real game changer: intelligent process automation. Seriously, this is a technology that promises to change not just what we do, but how we even think about work itself.
So, for years, we've thought of automation as something that just, well, does things. It copies data, it pastes it somewhere else, it moves files around. But that kind of basic automation has a major roadblock. It's fantastic for perfectly repetitive work, but it hits a brick wall the very second a little bit of thinking is required.
I mean, look at the old model. Automation was totally dependent on a human. Anytime a decision was needed, the whole process would just grind to a halt, waiting for a person to step in and give the okay. The new goal is a continuous workflow, a system that doesn't just do what it's told, but one that actually learns, adapts, and handles complex situations all on its own.
And that really brings us to the core question, doesn't it? What does happen when things aren't perfectly neat and tidy? When a document is unstructured or a situation calls for actual judgment? Well, basic automation just throws its hands up. And this is the exact challenge that the next evolution of technology is designed to solve.
The solution is what we call intelligent process automation, or IPA. And this isn't just more automation, it's smarter automation. Think of it as a whole suite of technologies that can literally think, learn, and adapt. We're transforming machines that just do into systems that can truly manage and integrate our entire digital world. So, what's actually in this intelligent toolkit? I mean, how does a system really think? Let's pop the hood and break down the components that make IPA so incredibly powerful. At its heart, IPA is like a team of 5 core technologies all working in sync. You've got robotic process automation. Think of these as the hands that do all the repetitive clicking and typing. Then you have the smart workflow, which is like the central nervous system, directing traffic and managing the whole process. And then comes the brain, machine learning, which finds patterns in data that a human might never see, natural language generation, which explains those insights in plain English, and finally, cognitive agents, which use all of this information to make smart decisions. It's this powerful combo that creates true, intelligent automation. You know, the real power of all this is how it just smashes through the walls inside a business. Data doesn't get stuck in one department anymore, waiting for someone to run a monthly report. Instead, IPA gives you real-time analysis and recommendations, directly connecting data to decisions. It makes the entire organization so much faster and more responsive.
Okay, theory is great, but let's make this real. We're going to look at a classic, super data-heavy industry that is being totally transformed by this technology: insurance. So, this is the traditional painful claims process. A claim comes in, someone scans it, another person has to manually type all that data into a system, then it gets routed around to different adjusters, and then everyone just waits. It's slow, it's expensive, and it's absolutely full of opportunities for human error.
Now watch what happens with IPA. The document gets scanned, but then the intelligence system takes over completely. It reads and extracts all the data automatically. Then, in an instant, it analyzes the claim, compares it against years of historical data to spot any red flags for fraud, and can either approve it on the spot or flag it for a human to review. The bottleneck, it's just gone.
And this really gets to the true goal of intelligent automation. It's not about replacing people, it's about elevating them. When you automate all that repetitive, low-value paperwork, you free up your employees to focus on what humans do best: handling complex cases, innovating, and actually serving customers. Now, this all sounds incredible, I know, but it probably also sounds pretty expensive and complicated. Which leads us, of course, to the biggest business question of all: is this transformation actually worth the investment?
And that is a perfectly fair question. I mean, implementing a system this powerful requires a lot of resources, it takes time, and it means a big shift in how the business operates. You have to be able to justify the return on that investment.
When we calculate the ROI here, we have to look way beyond just the obvious cost savings. The direct returns are clear, right? You save time, you reduce errors, but the real game-changing outcomes are things like improved employee morale, the ability for your people to do higher-value work, and ultimately, building a huge competitive advantage. That's the true ROI. And maybe the most critical part of this investment isn't even the technology itself, it's the people. The biggest hurdle to making this work is often cultural. You have to manage that change and win over the very employees this technology is meant to help, turning any fear they have into advocacy.
So the real question here isn't just about the tech, it's about strategy. How can a business harness these amazing tools to completely transform its operations and really dominate its industry? Because believe me, the companies that answer that question are going to be the leaders of tomorrow.